Many. איפה זלמן? איפה זלמן?
Is it live?
50-80 Barclays. What year? 50-80 Barclays. I don't know. I came in למקומו. Okay, no, יש לנו MC.
לא מנסי, רק אתה מתחילים. Yellow.
Hello. We have an MC. We'll start. This is instant MC. You just take him out of the package and he starts talking. So we have a shear every year. Every week. So you can drink and see Phil. Every week. And Punk the shear is Tuesday night. So Ms. Mamshich the shear heint. And Ms. Messiah with the shear Masechta that I will do. Yeah? Okay. So you want to be the MC? Be the MC.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. Simon. And the MC wants to say introduction.
כבוד הרבנים, כבוד המסובים, כבוד האחים החשובים, רב חיים ורב צבי, לחיים, ברוכים הבאים zu der צאתכם לשלום und ברוכים הבאים zu der בניין החדש. In Halacha is the word as Shabbos a binyan is chayiv, aber a stira is patur. What is the din if a person is soiser al menas livnois? If you're destroying to build, then the din is your chayiv. The Churban Abayis was a stira, a soiser al menas livnois beis hamikdash hashlishi. That's why Tisha B'Av, the Achar Chatzos, we say Nachem, and we say Mizmer, La'asa Bo Goy B'Nachalasecha, Mizmer Lashon Simcha, because already Neulad Mashiach Shel Yisrael. So the Eibush is a helfen, wir sollen nicht dafen fasten, Mashiach soll kommen, und von der Simcha, von der Siyum, von Rab Chaim, soll man tanzen in der Simcha von der Gula Schleim. L'chaim.
I'm Rebel
Chaim.
Menachem. Okay. No, Sofrit is the shield. This is shield.
Yeah, one second.
Chaim to shoulder Deutsch. Koyach. Und sein gesunden Staat.
Yeah, one second. I mean,
How are you?
Okay. Okay, first of all, thank you all for coming. It really touches my heart. And I'd like to mention that today is Tuesday, Yom She'uchpal B'Kitoiv, and for the last who knows how many years, I don't even remember, but it's been many years, that every Tuesday, Baruch Hashem, we have a shir of Chassidus, a Sikha from the Rebbe, or a Maimer, the Chayotze B'Zeh, in the Mosad Pita, every Tuesday night for the last who knows how many years. And you see here all the Mishtafim, the Chaverim, that come every Tuesday. And by Shlocha Protis, the Eibishter does it involved that it's Tuesday night. So me and we decided that it's the perfect Tzeitzchem L'Sholem which will be continuation of the shir. We'll continue the shir kerogel, and this will be a foundation in a yesodus for the shir coming up in the new place. And also, I decided that I'm going to make a siyum Maseches Avos, which will follow the shir. The derech klal, the shir is, we try not to exhaust the chavre shir. It's old. The derech klal, the shir is in the half hour. But if there's a lot of politics in the world and things that's happening in the world, the shir takes an hour and a half. But today we're going to make it Pita because we won't take politics.
The Pita is the letzte Nacht, the Gainer Osmog.
By our no Magachuri, but the main Magachir is Reb Shmuel Zalmanon, and everybody knows Reb Shmuel Zalmanon is the Yoshev Rosh HaGudas Chasidus Chabad in Montreal and in the whole world as well. So Reb Shmuel, wir werden Eulam Zachayin auf nach paar Minuten, sind nicht nehmen lange, eine kurze Sicher vom Reben. Bis derweil kann der Eulam sagen L'chaim und umwünschen alle Brochen. So Reb Shmuel, bevakasha.
Okay, I just wanted to start. Usually we learn the Shia, our Chavruses, our group is in Hebrew. So I'm going to try very hard to say it in English or in English, whatever way you want. But before we start, I just want to tell you a small story. Many years ago, in 1949, with the Jewish people came from Teman. I don't know if you know what Teman is. They came to Israel, and when they came, there was a young fellow and his wife and his children. They came into an orchard, to a pardes, which where there were a lot of oranges. Because in Israel those days, everybody chews rice. Anyway, in this orchard of oranges, this Teimani with his family, they came there and they settled there and they started eating up the oranges, one after the other. They never saw something like this. Suddenly the Balavai, the owner of the orchard comes and says, "Hey, Adoni, what are you doing? This is not yours." And he continues eating. He says, "You look, Atanira Dati, you look like an observant person. So what are you doing?" In the Torah it says, listen. Yeah. So he says, "Wow, in Eretz Israel is mamish unbelievable. Eretz Zovas Cholod. Not only that we have everything, we have only Torah." Why I'm saying this story? Because really, I want to tell you something. Pita here is not just a restaurant. It is a restaurant, but it's one of a kind. Why? Because every person that walks into the restaurant, the first thing he sees, he doesn't see the food. What does he see? A stand with film, food on film. This is a very unique thing, with such a proud thing. And I can tell you, through the time that we had that stand here, I think for the past 3 years, I think they can almost be made a book. People that came the last minute, they almost, I don't know, they didn't have to film, and I think Pizza film, etc. There's many stories. There's one time, Chaim sends me a video. There's a guy sitting here with it film, and I think he asked him, "Do you mind if I take it down?" Just because you should see, he came from France or whatever. He was he forgot his film, and he was like, he saved his life. Pita is Sake Amoised. Beside, this is a mocking for my Tevim. I remember, I think it was 14 years ago, there was the dedication of this place. There's a person that is very much in our hearts and memory. It's not only a memory, really, we live with him, and happened to be Chaim Shver, Moshe Lagarlitsky. This is a man one of a kind. In general, I don't know, whoever knew him and whoever knows him now is a man of one of a kind. When he said Chaim, he said, "Chaim, the old Zolzain are mocking for Maisim Toivim." That's what he told him. And I can tell you, this is really a mocking Maisim Toivim. There's so many things. I'm not making a eulogy here or nothing, because I came really to say the shir, and I was working a whole day today for the shir, for Shetlein the Ivre. It's okay. I'm going to make it Bekitzer. Bekitzer is a zay. We all know that this coming Shabbos is Shabbos Nachamu, and it says Nachamu Ami. Basically, what it talks about the destruction of the two Batei Mikdoshes that had the Beis Hamikdash Rishon, Beis Hamikdash Sheni, and everybody knows all this detail that comes with it. But all our thing is to get ready for the third Beis Hamikdash. The question is, if we wanted to comfort somebody, why do you have to go through details of first Beis Hamikdash, second Beis Hamikdash, the day of the destruction of the Batei Mikdoshes, and that is why Nachamu? Because really, every Beis Hamikdash had a very special, unique thing in it. In the first Beis Hamikdash, we had Yoron Kodesh, etc., and all the things. And the second Beis Hamikdash, as generally we know, it was staying for longer than the first Beis Hamikdash. It was there for 420 years, and the first Beis Hamikdash was 410. So the mile of the first Beis Hamikdash and the mile of the second Beis Hamikdash, this way it comes the comfort. So what does it come? Come to the prophets, the Nechome and the Nevuah that comes is that it's going to be the third Beis Hamikdash. It's going to be everlasting Beis Hamikdash that we all await any minute, especially when it comes into the 9 days. I want us to connect it a little bit to the situation here. As we look now, Baruch Hashem Chaim is going now to the third location. So the first location was a very unique location, and I'm telling you, it was, can you imagine 2 young boys, Chaim and Tzvi, 2 young boys, I said 2 young boys, right? Opened up a business with their bare hands, from nothing. And in no time, the place became Tzarli Hamokoim. There was no place. They came to a place, and they came to a new place, which is the second place they came in. And it was, who ever thought that you're going to have to wait in line in a place like this? In Montreal, line, no parking. So much parking. There's no parking. You come in time, there's no parking. And I remember one time, this was like, I believe about 12 years ago, not much after I came. I had some kind of a business meeting with a goy, a very wealthy guy. Not that I'm a wealthy person, but it happened to be a very, very wealthy guy. He came, he wanted to do something, and somebody else, it doesn't make a difference. I didn't know what I'm going to do. I decided I'll bring him over here. So Chaim was nice to me, and he let me go to the upstairs, to the third floor. That time, the third floor wasn't yet in operation. And I was sitting there with him. He says, no, I want to go downstairs. I want to see the people. I want to see the Jewish community. And he tells me, and this was in the 9 days around that. It was very busy. It was like one of those very busy days. Rabbi Sayalde here, please rise. And this guy told me that he's so impressed to see what is. So he tells me, he asked me if every kosher place is like this, so clean, such a nice service, everything is there, what you want, so fair, so nice. And the Rosh from the Kalim, Baruch Hashem that we had this unique thing that is going to. So I want to give a bracha now to Chaim that the third place is going to be an everlasting place, and we are going to have the real siyum, that Chaim is going to make a siyum now, but the siyum, before yet Chaim starts saying the siyum, we are going to have the siyum of Goles, take it from Yad Mamesh, and the Rebbe, our Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe said, and he implemented that in the 9 days until Tu B'Av, every day should be made a siyum. But the siyum is not to have for the meal, just to bring in this union of simcha. And every day, Baruch Hashem, in many, many places, make siyumim. And the idea of the siyum is that we should bring inyan for simcha. It's very difficult to have a simcha in the 9 days, because the 9 days is really a time of availus, as we know. We are really limited, and we are forced to come to פיצה because there's the only place, no flesh, right? Anyway, and there's no alcohol here, no wine. Alcohol, yes, but no wine, right? Anyway, so we'll make a siyum, and we'll ask Chaim to please take the siyum. Yes.
Okay. First of all, thank you again for coming, because there's new people that came, so I think that I have to mention again, Yeshikoyach for Kimen. It really touches my heart. My heart and Tzvi's heart to see all of you here. Kish Echad. There's a lot of chesed in this room. I'm not going to mention names, but there's a lot of people that came here tonight that are full of chesed and avo ve'achro ve'sholem v'reis. I decided, I mentioned before, so I want to mention it again to the Leilum, that we have a shir every Tuesday night for many, many years in this place downstairs. And Bashgacha Pratis, again, Tuesday night, it came out So we decided to be mamshich this year. And I figured that there's also an opportunity to have a siyum. It's the 9 days. So we'll have a siyum. So I think it's a wonderful inyan to be Messiah, a place that was open for so many years and provided kashrus to the city and built such a beautiful name in the entire city. I think it would be proper to be Messiah the last day with the siyum Masechta. So I took Masechtas Avos for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, because it's the shortest one. And reason number 2, because Pirkei Avos is, all know that it's Poshet Derech Eretz, Poshet Ben Odom Lechaveira, Ben Odom Lomokim. Poshet, it's like the Aleph Beis Gimel, how a person has to behave between people and between friends, v'chulu v'chulu. So I'm talking in my behalf, and I don't know my brother Tzvi.
He went to bring a pushkin.
Oh.
I should be tzedakah also.
So, in behalf of me and Tzvi, the place here taught us a lot. And a lot of, we have learned so much in the last we're 30 years in the business, but especially in this place, we have learned so much derech eretz. First of all, the derech eretz that the derech eretz that the customers get ausgelernt derech eretz and with complaints, and then at the other end, it also taught us a lot how to behave between people and how to deal with situations. So I think that Pirkei Avos is a proper Masechta to be Messiah Pizza Pita, the last day. So I'll be Messiah with the last pasuk, and then I have a few very kurze vote from a Sicha, and we'll do it B'kitzer Nimrutz. So the last Mishnah Perek Shishi from Pirkei Avos is Messiah Kol Ma Shebora Kodesh Baruch Hu B'Elomoy Lo Yiboro Elo L'Chvoidei Shenamar Kol Hanikro B'Shmi V'L'Chvoidi V'Risov Yetzartov Afasisa V'Omer Adonai Imloch Lo'Elam Voed Rabbi Chanana ben Akash Omer Rotza Kodesh Baruch Hu L'Zakos Is Yisrael Lefichach Yir B'Leim Torah U'Mitzvos Shenamar Adonai Chofetz L'Man Tzidko Yagdol Torah V'Yadim. So, say Kaddish? Yeah, sure. No. But I finished the Mishnah. Yeah. You want to say? Yeah, say Kaddish, Moshe. Yeah. Amen. So the Mishnah, the Sof in Pirkei Avos, no, it's Losen B'Seifam. So it starts with Kol Yisrael Yesh Lehem Chelek Lo'elam Mabar Shenema V'Amach Kulam Tzadikim Lo'elam Yirshu Oretz Neta Matoi Masa Yoda Lispoya. My shver, he always used to come to, whenever he used to give a dosha, he used to have a little paper, a little note, and everybody knew the smaller the note, the longer the dosha is going to be. I'm going to do the opposite. I took some notes. It looks like 3 pages, but I'm going to make very, very, very big kitza. So there's the Sikha starts off with this following story. Two neshamas met in the Beis HaRefuah. Baun Zokman Beis HaRefuah. And then is ein neshama is from a baby that is arriving in the world. In another neshama is from a älterich Yid ben meir ve'esrim shana was geht auf jene Welt. So treffen sich the zwei neshamas. The 2 neshamas are meeting, and the neshama that comes down to the world is asking the second neshama. It says, tell me, what's going on in this world? So the neshama that is living says, don't ask. It's so wonderful. You work hard, you make few dollars, and you can do so many mitzvahs. You could do kashrus, you could do tzedakah, gmilas chasodim, v'chulu v'chulu. But there's only one problem. Till you make this few dollars, get away the neshama. But the good news is, tells the neshama to the other neshama, that we're all temporary. It's a one-way ticket. In other words, you come here to this world, you're temporary, and then you leave, get weiter. So this is the story between the two neshamas. So we're reading Pirkei Avos, and it starts with Kol Yisrael yesh lehem chelek le'elam haba, shenamar ve'amach kolam tzadikim. As children, we always learn this from the psukim, and we know it about peh. And we learn that ve'amach kolam tzadikim, and we know that everyone has a chelek le'elam haba. What's the pshat from olam haba? We have to say that olam haba talks about tchias hameisim. That's the pshat. So fragt sich the shaila, it says ve'amach kolam tzadikim. Is take emes azoi ve'amach kolam tzadikim? And we know that, there's some people that ze seine nicht afadarje von a tzadik. So what's the pshat that kol ve'amach kolam tzadikim? Everyone has a chelik lo'olam haba. What's the pshat? Everyone will be in tchias hameisim. And what's the whole inyan of tchias hameisim? What's the pshat from tchias hameisim? So the Rebbe continues in the Sicha and saying the following. We all know that when it comes to Lag BaOmer, is Yom HaElul von Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. In alle seine Besimcha, we get to Miron, we spring, we mach Medurot, Kunzitz, Tutzach, Sefreilach. Fragt sich the Shaila, was is the Simcha? A person that passed away, darf sein Hefrich von Simcha, Atzvus. What's the pshat that we are Sameach and Simcha von Reb Shimon Bar Yochai? So we all know that Reb Shimon Bar Yochai says that when this neshama went lemailo, is like a fish went back into his water, which means kol zman he was in olam hazeh, he suffered. Because in olam hazeh, in the guf gashmi, you're very, very mukbal. You have limitation. You have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to do this and that. So you're very, very limited. So Rab Shbi, Olav Sholem, when he went back, says because he was able to connect with the Eberstein on Agbolis. So what's the pshat that this is for Reb Shimon Bar Yochai? Well, what's the pshat? The whole inyan of a guf gashmi lechaerev, it should be the opposite. The two neshamas are meeting with each other, so the neshama that comes down has to tell the neshama that goes up. He said, "Oh my God, you should know there's so much simcha lemailo. You tachas kisei hakoved. You're there with all agboles. There's nothing that stops you. You're mamish mechuber with the Eibushin, and you don't have to deal with food and essen and drinking." So what's the inyan of Tchias HaMeisim? The inyan of Tchias HaMeisim l'cha'oire is to come back to a guf. So what's the inyan? What's the inyan of to come back to a guf? Let's stay in a position that we are all bilti mugbel, we're all unlimited, and we don't have to deal with the guf. So everyone is waiting for Tchias HaMeisim? What? To come back to a guf gashmi, to be limited again? Isn't that wonderful to stay in this position where we're unlimited and we are connected with Mikoi Rachai? So there's a whole arichas, but the nekuda is that the whole tachlis of the neshama beguf is to be moise b'kiyam mitzvahs. A neshama that is lemaila is take on agbolis, but the whole tachlis abriya is lasis leizborach dira b'tachtoine. The whole purpose why we're here, each one of us, one ends up in this moise, one ends up in a food business, one up in real estate, one ends up in selling food and alle inyonim, construction or whatever you do, there's a purpose to it, because the tachlis hakavona from all this circle is lases leizbar dira b'tachtoinim, to create ma'asim tovim, to use the koyach and the gel to create kindness and create more place for Yiddishkeit in the world, in Yeda Ein in Zayin Inyanim. So, with the whole arichas, the Rebbe comes back to the last nekuda, is that when you say Kol Yisrael Yesh Lahem Chelek Lo Ilamabo, the Chelek Lo Ilamabo is not because of the learning Torah. Nicht jeder eine ist ein Talmid Chacham, nicht jeder eine kann sitzen lernen, nicht jeder eine the Koichas and the Zeit. But Kiyum HaMitzvahs and Ma'asim Tovim is a choiv of jeder eine. So each one of us, it doesn't matter what excuse you will have and what Esber you will explain for not doing it, Kiyum, Torah, and mitzvahs and kindness is a daily thing. And it can start with the little things, with a good morning, with hi, how are you, what can I do for you, v'chula v'chula. And I could say on behalf of, more on behalf of my brother Tzvi, he took literally the pizza shop for the last so many years, and he created it a mosad of chesed. Every day, there's people that are looking for tzvi and mitchesed and food and kindness, and everybody knows, and I say it more because I'm learning from my brother Tzvi how to do chesed. So the whole yesodus of Pita for all those years is supposed to teach us and to give us the ability and the opportunity to create so much chesed. So I'm going to conclude with wishing my own brother, we should continue, bracha v'atzlocha, Michael el-Choyel, we should be able to do more chesed and be able to help more Yidden and should be in the Birchas HaGefen, in Emes HaAtzlocha, in Gezun, Parnasa Unachmas Nefesh, and alle Yidden, everyone, Zol Oben Take alle brachas, whatever they need from our bottom of the heart. And thank you for supporting Pita for all those years. It was wonderful. It was Pashat Agishmak. And I always say that, and I tell Tzvi, there's a little bit of, agam that we're going Michael el-Choyel, but there's sweet, bittersweet, that Baruch Hashem, Megate Vaita, but there's a heart that we put in to this place, and there's a connection that we had with the customers, and this is something that we'll miss. Anyways, L'chaim Tzvi, L'chaim Ali Yidden, we love you all, and I have to say that we have Baruch Hashem, a brother that he's Pashat, is Miksha Achas with us. He's not involved in a daily work in Pita, but he's constantly involved in every day and advice. We start the morning, Boker Tov Shmulik, Makara, what did you do yesterday? What are we going to do today? What should I do? What shouldn't I do? So the environment of that, and I have to thank Shmulik again for that, for being always leyad yeminenu, the Eibishter soll der Tag benchen mit alle Broches, und shezen nachas von den Kinder, Parnasa b'shefa, gesund und alle Broches. L'chaim alle Yidden, we love you all, seid alle gesund und stark. And v'achrein chaviv, before I close the chapter, I want to mention that we have another so we want to mention that we have another brother that's not from the same Tata and Mame, but I can say that he's more than a brother than Begashmius, and he's a good friend. That's Oymed Al Yamini Menachem Mendel Hillel. I have to say that I don't know how many of you know my history, but to know my history and Tzvi's history, we need to verbring here for 16 years. And I don't think we can do that. But me and my friend Manny go back with our friendship and relationship and chaverim from Tafshin Lamed Gimel in Yeshiva in Lud. We became friends in Lud. At the beginning, we were not friends because he was the best in the class. And then I came in and I became almost the best in the class. So he didn't like it so much. But Lepoel Mamesh, after this Vizok Medabaya Verove, Hillel V'Shamai, we went back and forth. And we became chaverim. to the point that mamish doesn't go 5 minutes that we don't speak, and all our tzloches, Zvika, all our tzloches, kipshute mamish from day one, we owe to many. And David says on the Take mention many. I want to use the opportunity. David says on the Take mention. This is Take Zoiche sein. Alle broches comes from the bottom of the heart. So Take beemes David says on the Tzishikin. Alles soll sein auf der richtige Weg. So storm alles, was du darfst. Storm Simcha Amitis, Onag Mas Nefesh. You should be able to go Michael Chai. And we ain't giving up. We're going all the way. L'chaim, l'chaim. Many was on the program.
Many, תגיד משהו. מני. שמולי, תגיד משהו. תגיד משהו. תגיד משהו, בוא נגיד לכולם ככה משהו. תגיד לכולם משהו. שכחתי, מה שכחת? תשאל את...
אני מצטלם עכשיו, כאילו, אז הזום, בכלל, הכיתי את הארוחת ערב, אני כבר מגיע הביתה. רגע, שנגיד משהו.
כמה זמן צריך לדבר?
מה?
כמה זמן חד שתיים אותי?
לא, היא רואה אתכם, היא על הזום. כל מי שרואה אותנו על הזום, אנחנו נמצאים פה בערב מאוד מאוד מיוחד. זיכרונות, צעדים כלפי קדימה, סיום של פרק מסוים, עם כל הדברים הנפלאים שיש בהם, וגם הדברים הקשים שיש בהם, אבל אני חייב להגיד שאני ממש גאה באחים שלי. מה שהם בנו, זה פשוט, זה מוסד. כמו כל הבניינים שאתם רואים, כמו כל מוסד שקיים, כמו כל ארגון, כמו כל מקום שאנשים נהנים להיות בו, אוהבים להיות בו, וחוגגים שם כל כך הרבה דברים. זה חיים וצביקה, שבנו את מונטריאל מהבחינה הזאת. השאלה מזל טוב, ונמשיך לחגוג איתם. מה? Ich will Zoom. No, just in one time. Yeah, ich will Zoom. Mazal tov, good luck in the new place. We'll see you there. We'll follow you.
חיים לחיים חיים, וסגן יחי לרחוי, משנה מתו, משנה מזל לטבע ולזוכו, וזן צידושוי, רבידיקיוי, יחי המלך.
לחיים, לחיים. אפשר לראות כמה מקשיבים? כמה עלו? עשר. רקע ראש שישי מי יכול להביא את שמולי? שמולי. עם הראש שישי. קודם כל עם הראש שישי. Don't worry, I have good things.
ראשי וגייזוג, נו.
קום, מה תצלם מפה? איפה שמולי? אתה צלם האופיש.
כמה מילים ראשי.
עכשיו עם חיים על הברכה.
תגיד כמה מילים, נו.
מה? אמן, אמן, אמן. מה שהנוסח שלי נוסח מסוים. שאני מאוד משלם, מה לא דרך לדבר, אומן, אומן. ככה גוד פאזל דואך, זה נוח בסדר. מתרבדות. אתה רוצה שנצטלם? גם חושב בעילי. שמייכו. עם שמולי. עם הפיקצ'רס.
זה גם עובר, תעשו.
רגע, מי צלם אותי איתך? רגע, שנייה, תביא את כל השמוליק. שמוליק ושמוליק, שמוליק מצלם צילמת? כן, זה הרבה. עכשיו עם שמעון, רגע, בוחמי שלנו.
מה עם מני?
רגע, שמעון ולוי האחים. אוקיי, בוחמי שלנו. חיים לוקה. חיים לוקה.
אני שם זונה זה מוריאל.
שמולי.
כן. בואו תשיעו, בואו כולם לכאן. איפה השיעור?
רגע. השיעור.
חיים, אתה באמצע. למה איך כיוונת לשתי ביצים? חיים, תעמוד באמצע.
אתה מכיר את המערכונים?
אתה רוצה להסיק את הבטן.
איפה שמולי?
זה גם קיבלתי שם.
די שול.
אוקיי, עכשיו רגע שנייה, עכשיו,
מה עם הקורונה? מה אם אתה לא רוצה תמונה עם הקורונה?
רגע שנייה, נו, שנייה, אתה גבוה,
אתה לא כל כך נמוך, צילמת.
צילמת? עוד אחד.
צילמת את השוק.
לא. אוקיי. אני לא הצטלמתי. רגע, תמונה, שמולי. יש בה.
אברהם, what's my upstay? זה חיים מנפס.
חיים.
You know, your father, he calls me and hangs out.
Shmuel, you're doing a good job.
Let's do Chaim.
Instigate the verbrengen de ganze Nacht. Vanilla. What you oh, not sure. Is ice cream? Is ice cream? But then also up and down. Dan, you want ice cream? Dan, you want something? Ice cream?
There's no way you can go.
Yes. I have to put you on the list. If you want, tell me. What? Give me a number of it.
514.
24 people today.
No, nothing. One time I won't go on.
514.
570. 177. 170. But yes, in the evening or Sunday.
No problem. He'll call your brother if you what day and he'll put you in the schedule.
Oh, your father will also. Because I work in the
Yeah,
הבאת, לא ראיתי אותך פה, אני לא ראיתי לך לא אותך ולא את הכלב שלך, איפה אתם? אתם לא שומעים אותי ממני. אתם לא שומעים אותי. מה קרה? שקט. לא. 85. Pictures after and show. Michael Lemsky pictures. It's not a video. Yeah, video.